I've been working in the corporate world for more than half my life now and been managing people and doing so for about 15 years. What has pained me to watch in managing people, especially as I've grown in my own self-love, is all the self-sacrificing that is happening. It's really very much based in the fear mentality that people have. There's often this deep underlying fear that they will lose their jobs. People will go without taking paid time off or work during their paid time off. They'll work crazy hours, tolerate horrible treatment, miss events or time with loved ones, be having anxiety attacks, and even major stress-related health issues. And why? Because of their deep-seated fear and beliefs that they are unworthy. They believe that they aren't good enough for what they have, and they believe that they have to work incredibly hard to keep it. We're going to talk about this today because I have a bit of a wake-up call for you. All this sacrifice you're making, all this suffering you're putting yourself through, it's you that's creating it. It's you who feels you aren't worthy of better. You attract what you believe, but you also have to feel worthy of it. So that means you have to love and respect yourself. That's going to mean some changes. Let's talk about this today. Why you really need to give to yourself first, and the world will give back to you tenfold. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Alchemy of Manifestation podcast. I'm Jen Tammy at the Wheelhouse Project, and we are going to talk about how that sweet heart of yours is going to help you create the life of your dreams. In our world, we give kudos to people who sacrifice themselves, who tolerate suffering and pain to lift or help others, or perhaps trying not to let them down. Or maybe who create a life around and for others, never considering their own needs. I get it. These are the sensitive ones who see how we are all connected. They want to lift others in hopes that it will be good for the good of all. And truly it is. But that said, giving when you are depleted or sacrificing yourself in some way will not take you further on your own path. It's a sure sign that you have wounds and deep beliefs about unworthiness and lack mentality, actually. We have some human beliefs deeply instilled in us that make us believe that we have to sacrifice, that suffering is normal and expected, that we have to do this, even sacrificing our own life and happiness for our jobs, our families, for money, and more. The truth, though, it's that way only because we believe it to be. We are making things difficult because we believe that we can't have it easy. And in doing so, you're showing the divine that you feel unworthy, that you don't trust that you are the beautiful, divine, and perfect being that your creator birthed into being, worthy of a beautiful, easy, and wonderful life. It's when we align with our divinity, when we see that we are souls underneath it all, and always connected to our creator. When we align with our own self-worth and self-love, loving ourselves with compassion and kindness, and seeing ourselves as the beautiful, perfect being as our creator sees us. This is when things finally start to fall into place for you, because we are our creator in form and should treat ourselves as such. You will always be provided for when you learn to love and respect yourself. That's part of your lesson here as a soul. You will be shown the light all along the way through your suffering, but you have to reach for it. You have to love and respect yourself enough to believe that you will always be provided for, supported, loved, and abundant in your blessings. I have learned that self-sacrifice and not honoring myself as the beautiful child of my creator took me down some very dark roads. Buying into the human beliefs, ancestral wounds, and lies we have perpetrated as a human species is the key to suffering for sure. Our human minds have these things deeply ingrained sometimes through many lifetimes on Earth, and they can take a bit of time to heal, to release, and to reprogram. We are so very conditioned that unworthiness is normal and that suffering is our road, and that we just need to find our own ways of stuffing down the pain and wounds around all of it, ignoring it and moving forward. But you can't ignore it, and you won't move forward until you deal with it. It will eat away at you, body, mind, and spirit. It will show up in your life in mental suffering, physical illness, or just a rather unhappy existence with no deep joy or zest for life. You won't have anything to really give to lift others that isn't laced with suffering, pain, and fear until you fill yourself with love. When you can come back to love for yourself and self-respect, appreciation, and compassion, you will flow that beautiful energy to others, lifting them and showing them the way. That's the beauty of self-love. It doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone. Your love cannot be contained, but neither can your unhappiness. What do you want to send out to the world? Your fear, your misery, your self-loathing, your disrespect of your own value and self-worth, or love? Whatever you are being, feeling, living in your life is the energy you are putting out to everyone at all times. So while self-love might feel selfish to some, it's actually, in the long run, the most amazing thing you can do for everyone. Whether it's children in your life who you will teach the beauty of loving themselves by example, to someone you pass by on the street and say hello to everyone on the planet who is subtly lifted and changed for the better by your energy. Self-love is also creational or manifesting energy. When you align with the divine, you step into the creational flow. You are vibrating at the highest level. And because everything you dream of, desire, and are passionate about is vibrating at the level of love, you can more easily draw it all to you. Let me give a quick and easy example of how quickly you can shift into this energy too. While self-love isn't an overnight thing, we certainly all have our moments when our guides shake us down a bit, wake us up to how badly we're dishonoring ourselves, or really when our ego mind is taking us down a fear spiral and we just don't stop it. So I had a coworker who was really struggling, and I didn't even realize how deep in fear they were. When we had a conversation about their manager, their workload, their finances, and other aspects of their life, they sounded at the end of their rope emotionally. Drowning, fearful, hopeless. I talked to this person about when I was in a similar circumstance in my life not that long ago. That I had been working on my own self-love, doing healing work, doing my affirmations, as this person said they were doing too, and working to make some changes. However, one day in my outright misery around my job with a micromanaging boss and a crazy workload and overwhelming expectations, I walked into the bathroom and looked myself in the mirror and said, I am not honoring myself here. I have some solar chimes in my bedroom that my guides use to confirm things for me, and they went nuts when I said this. They agreed. Wake up, call success. I knew right then and there it was the time to go. So I wrote my resignation letter. And you know what? Just doing that felt amazing. I delivered it the next day, and I felt the hugest weight off my shoulders. I gave them a month's notice to buy myself some time, but I had an exit date, and that was huge for me. Total self-respect. I know some would say, but you didn't have a job lined up. I didn't, and I didn't really have a plan, but it all felt so right in my heart. It lit me up. I knew it was divinely guided, a leap of faith. My mind raced with fear, and I ignored it completely. I knew I was in the flow, and sure enough, weeks later, I was guided to take a small bit of action, a Facebook post about the job that I was looking for, and I had a few interviews set up within days. I visualized what I wanted, and I asked for it. I didn't make any sacrifices. And you know what? I got the most amazing job and the most easygoing boss ever. She was everything I needed at the time. It all felt so magical. But that's what happens when we love and respect ourselves. When we don't listen to anyone, including our own mind sometimes. Anyone who tells us that we need to sacrifice ourselves, or that we aren't worthy or going to find better. Truly, when we love ourselves deeply as our Creator loves us and honor ourselves as the beautiful divine being that we are, we align ourselves for better. Our Creator can bring us and guide us to better. We open the door. Mind you, it may not all have to be done in leaps of faith like I took. It may just be that you need to recognize that you're sacrificing yourself. Coming back to my story, this particular coworker listened to my story, and she said it was an awakening for her of how she had gone down a fear spiral in her life and that she needed to step up to own her worth and honor herself again. Within days, she'd met with a director and was changing jobs within the company. And you know what? It will be so much better for her. I can say that with total confidence because she shifted her energy. She began to honor herself. She is starting to align herself with the energy of self-love. So beautiful. But it's really that easy to stop going through the motions of this human world with human beliefs and perceived limitations around struggle and sacrifice, and to instead follow your heart and your soul, to own your value, to see that you're worthy of the best and have always been, that you deserve respect and love, and that you don't have to suffer or live in the wounds brought on by other people. You can heal and release all of it. You can take back your life. I think so often we go looking for others to show us our value, for others to show us that we're worthy, for others to show us respect, and for others to show us that we are lovable. But the fact of the matter is, no one will show you what you don't show yourself. Your life will continue to mirror what you believe about yourself. The tough manager, the miserable job, the toxic relationship, the financial struggles, the health issues, the anxiety. It's all about the fears you carry around and what you feel you're worthy of. And your huge sacrifices won't fill you up. They will only make you feel more empty. It's time to start to see that it's not only possible, but the amazing, easy, abundant, joyful path is always there for you if you want it. You have to raise your vibration, though, to bring it in. Self-love and respect, learning to honor yourself. This has to go deep, too. It has to be an understanding of your childhood and past wounds, of the beliefs that were instilled in you, and what traumas you've been carrying around and getting triggered by, too. It's about working toward healing those huge parts of you that have been fearfully controlling your life, of loving that part of you that is still wounded, still in victimhood, and still clinging to those old beliefs. It's about gently, patiently, compassionately loving yourself through the unearthing of these things, as well as the moments you observe that those old parts of you are back and needing your love and attention. Noticing your triggers and how you respond, and then finding where that stems from in your life, and allowing yourself to feel and heal those old wounds. It's a process sometimes. It's about letting yourself feel it all, the sadness, the anger, the hurt, the frustration, while consoling yourself as if you are the child or perhaps the adult that went through it all. Parenting yourself in a beautiful way. Because once you feel that love and safety within your own arms and your own heart, you will start to crack that beautiful heart back open to others as well. Sometimes healing takes time, so don't rush it, but take the time, feel it all, journal, work with healers and therapists, read books, do what it takes to find your way back to your center. Because the peace you will have when you do is everything. Healing work is the absolute greatest gift you can give to yourself, to your loved ones, and to the world. Because this is how you find your way to the deepest self-love, to being your own parent, your own hero, and your own rock. On my own journey to self-love through healing, I've passed through all the painful feelings, and I've opened my heart so wide that I can feel the love radiating from it. I'm also being shown the bigger picture now of how everything I worked so hard to heal was not so much being done to me as it was being done for me. It was part of my own divine plan. And all the souls who have taken part, playing the roles as my family, partners, coworkers, friends, and more, they were doing the things they did out of love, even when it didn't look like love, to guide me on my own path. I know to many this wouldn't make sense, but there is a wisdom to the pain. There is always an underlying reason around love. For me, it was that they were all pushing me back toward myself, not giving me the love I was looking for to fill me up. It forced me to seek my divine creator and to work to heal myself and find love for myself again in my own heart. It's been a lifelong journey for me, clearly, because I was meant to teach about it too. I am a teacher, definitely, of divine love. And divine love is something that is not only all around you, but there in your own heart for you to tap into and flood your life with. But first, sweet souls, you need to open it back up, to love and trust yourself again, and your creator too. Life is so much bigger than the blinders you've had on, the box that you've put yourself into, and way more magical and happy. You will create your best life with joy and love. Seriously, why would your creator want it any other way? When you love and respect yourself at the highest levels, you're creating your life and your world at the highest levels. And the best part, you don't need to do anything except surrender to the divine to guide you. Because when your heart is open, you believe you're worthy of the best and love yourself deeply. And you have faith that you are always guided, and you will be. You can truly let go, sweet soul. Not just when you get there, but now. Wake up each day in faith, perhaps with an affirmation or a prayer. Know that everything will happen in magical ways for you, with lessons from your divine team all along the way. Notice it all, the magic, the unexpected gifts in every moment. Be grateful. Make the guided changes or leaps if needed. Trust your own heart. Don't let your fearful mind freak you out. You are always safe. You deserve the utmost respect and love, sweet soul. You are only suffering because they told you or showed you that you weren't worthy, but it was all to help you find your way back to your own heart. It's time to come back into the divine flow by loving and respecting yourself enough to let go of things that are no longer serving you or honoring you, and opening yourself to better. Because better can't flow into your life until you stop blocking the flow with all of your limiting beliefs and unworthiness. It's time to embrace the preciousness of life and of you. Beautiful soul, you were meant to live a beautiful life of love. Find that love in your own heart, and you will not only shine it out and lift the world, but you will attract in the life of your dreams. It's time to start honoring and giving love to yourself. You are worthy. You are amazing. And you are more loved than you could ever imagine. Reach for the best, sweet souls. You deserve it. Thank you for joining me today on the podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and check out all of our other resources, videos, blogs, and more at thewheelhouseproject.com. Remember to sign up for our email list while you're there. And also check us out at The Wheelhouse Project on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest.